everybody, guess what? It is time to make some salsa. We made this salsa not that long ago and absolutely loved it. We've been trying to find a salsa that tastes like one of our favorite restaurants that we go to, and we found something that's very similar. So I'm going to show you guys the products that you guys need to make the salsa. So what you guys will need is 1 can of whole peeled tomatoes. I also drained a little bit of the juice so it's not as watery. You need 2 cans of the Rotel. I just got the original flavor. You're gonna need a quarter cup of chopped onions. You need about 1/2 to 3/4 cups of cilantro. We love cilantro, so we're gonna add a lot more to it. You need about 1.5 tablespoons of fresh lime juice. We can also use a teaspoon of minced garlic, but we're not adding that. You need a quarter teaspoon of kosher salt, and then we're also using a serrano pepper just to add a little bit of a bite to it. So we're gonna chop up the cilantro and the juice and all this stuff, and we'll show you guys what to do next. The first thing we're gonna do is chop up the cilantro.
So instead of chopping it like this, I'm gonna bunch this all up and kind of roll it up into a pile. One more time. Now we're going to put this in at the end after all the tomatoes get blended up so it's not too finely chopped. Okay, now we move on to the onion. Okay, so when I cut my onion, I like to have the root cut right through it. Chop a little bit of the root off. Peel the skin away. Sometimes I'll take the first layer of onion too, because sometimes that's a little bit too earthy. And then I'll hold that. I'll do multiple downward slices. And then 1 or 2 slices right down the edge. And then that'll give you a really fine chop, and everything's already cut for you then, so you don't need to process it further with your knife. See? Perfect dice. And I like real small pieces. I don't like any big chunks. You shouldn't bite into any huge chunks of onion when you're eating your salsa. There you go. Okay, now when I cut the pepper, I like to leave the seeds in. Nothing wrong with leaving the seeds or the membrane in. And I like to keep it whole and cut it, and then spin it, and cut it a few more times. And I like pretty small slices of pepper so you're not biting into a huge spicy chunk. Then I kind of put it back together and chop the end very finely. And always start out with a little bit. If it's not spicy enough for you, you always can add more. You never can take it out once it's in there. Same with the salt. Your chips already have salt on them. Some chips are saltier than others, so always start out with a little bit of salt. You always can add more. Okay, now we're going to add our lime. Same thing with the lime. Start with a tiny bit. You always can add more. Okay, now we're adding a 28-ounce can of whole peeled tomatoes. We took a little bit of the juice out of it because we like a thicker salsa, but if you like a thinner salsa, you can leave all the juice in if you want. Okay, so a full can of that, and then 2 cans of Rotel. We got the ones with the green chilies in it. These are each 10-ounce cans, so we're doing 2 of those. Now, even though these are canned tomatoes, when we were done and had it last time, it tastes amazingly fresh. We're going to add lime juice now, as much as you want, as little as you want. No rules to making salsa. We juiced about a quarter of it, quarter of 1 standard sized lime. And then we're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Any salt will do. We have kosher flake salt from the Dollar Tree.
The onions and stuff.
And we're going to give this power on and a couple pulses. So this gives us a pretty good consistency. Some of the chunks are starting to break up. You could leave it there. We like it a little more finer, so we're going to give it a couple more. And there we go. That gives us a nice consistency we're looking for. Not too thin, not too thick. Still, when you dip a chip in it, something to pick up on. Okay. Now we're adding this in last. It's our onion, pepper, cilantro blend. And we just want to blend this till it's incorporated all the way through. We don't want to really break this up anymore, because otherwise the cilantro will turn into pulp. And there we go. It's pretty much ready. We like to let ours sit refrigerated for about 30 minutes before we try it. Once you try it, if you want any more characters to come out in it, like as far as onion or pepper, you can always add. But just remember, you never can subtract. So always start on the low end and increase until you get what you want. Thanks for watching.